The medals are starting to rack up, as today we have yet another Gold Top Brew and a proper introduction to Manchester's Track Brewing Co. The concept of track was born way back in 2008 with founder Sam Dyson's tour of the US, clocking up thousands of miles on his bike and no doubt hundreds of pints in the many craft breweries. His American adventure showed him there was a different side to the whole beer world. And unlike their macro brothers, small craft breweries could really be a cornerstone for the community. On his return to the UK, he joined newly forming local boys, Camden Town Brewery. But it soon became quite obvious he needed to branch out on his own. And on his return to the north, he noticed that Manchester was lacking what was subtly bubbling away down in London, and the city could do with its very own craft beer revolution. And with now heavyweights Cloudwater setting up shop at the very same time, the city's craft scene was well and truly born. And the latest of their triumphs has been this said Gold Top series, a collection of big, over-the-top and overly creamy dippers and tippers. Of course, taking its inspiration from the classic Gold Top milk bottles from way back when. Although I suppose it has been a generation or two since you last found one of those on your doorstep. But today we open our front doors between time. Take a moment to bathe in this bodacious delight. A hearty addition of oats and wheat to a pale and pilsner malt base. And with the addition of a little lactose, a smooth and sumptuous body awaits, lovingly layered atop this creamy foundation. The Cashmere, the Waimea, the Cryo Citra, and the Citra Spectrum. That Spectrum, of course, being the newer, liquidized hop edition. Together, these hops bring a cacophony of dank pineapple, sweet cantaloupe doused in a freshly mixed Singapore sling, with a scoop of vanilla mango sorbet for good measure. Complex and completely in your face, but at the same time refreshing with a light meadow sweet bitterness to finish off. Now I've got to say, these guys don't just make big and bold beers, but they sure as hell make the mouth water with their write-ups too. I like to think I have my way with words, but if I were to describe it, it wouldn't come close to as good as that. Or maybe I can, because we're once again pulling back that gold film. Let's get pouring. Oh, it is real tropical. Pineapple and passion fruit really bold up top. And there are some real creamy notes, as you'd expect. And there's some soft berry or sweet stone fruit notes hidden away in there. Oh, and it is sweet, and it is creamy right up top. Passion fruit and pineapple plentiful across the palate. And it is real smooth. And that's followed up by a subtle resinous citrus note that does have just a soft bitterness in it. And there is a soft note of mango, coconut and lime tickling away in the back. It's almost giving it a pina colada-like vibe. It is so fruity, it is so fresh, it's almost flaring up my hay fever. So they describe it as vanilla mango sorbet, and that's kinda what you're getting. That mango and those creamy notes really are dominating up top. There is a subtle citrus note. It's almost as if you've got a little shaving of lemon zest on top of your scoops. In fact, it's so decadent, it's so tropical, I've got 3 helicopters thinking I'm stranded on a desert island. And in that tail, there is just a subtle grapefruit note. It's a little piney in that bitterness too, with just the slightest nod to a little dankness. And now we're down into the final third. I've got to say, this has been some treat. It's tropical, it's sweet, it's creamy, and it's got some body to it, but all without ever being over the top or overbearing. It might just be pushing the boundaries of what's over the top and overbearing, but it never does tiptoe across that line. Up top, it is that mango ice cream like they described. Sweet, tropical, vanilla-y cream with just a little citrus garnish. But it does slowly melt away as soft citrus notes of grapefruit and a little piney bitterness start to take hold. And as things wear on, that piney bitterness does become slightly more herbal, and there's almost a little bit of spice in that finish. And in those middles, there's more tropical notes to come, as it starts to develop a real pina colada-like feel, as subtle notes of lime and coconut start to join the party, with a little touch of pineapple, which helps fade out with an ever so subtle dankness. And I tell you what, for an 8.5%er, it sure is real easy drinking. That creaminess and smoothness of body really does douse any notion of ABV. It's a little dangerous to handle, but a game I'm happy to play again and again and again. And if there is just one thing this brew and its brother brews are missing, it's that tin foil gold lid. Track, you're missing a trick there. But that aside, with summer on the horizon, this could easily be your go-to summer brew.